So all of us clap. Finally, Krishna's back. Finally, Krishna's back. I think Krishna has been pleased with the song of the Gopis. So Krishna's back. An assemble, and he looked very, very beautiful. And this is the description. Now Krishna is started to speak. What Krishna started to speak? Krishna is telling that, my dear friends, okay, all of you are clapping. Thank you. So Krishna is telling, my dear friends, actually, what happened, the Gopis, they all started to think that, நாங்கள் இவ்வளோ பக்தி காமிச்சோம் கிருஷ்ணருக்கு, நாங்கள் எவ்வளோ பக்தி தொண்டு செஞ்சோம், ஆனால் கிருஷ்ணர் எங்களுக்கு ஒழுங்காகவே ரெசிப்ரிகேட் பண்ணல. They started to feel like that. They started to feel that Krishna never really showed love for them so much, and as much as how they should. So here Krishna is answering, that telling, my dear friends, persons who simply reciprocate the loving dealing of another parties are just like merchant. அப்பனா எவன் ஒருவன் வந்து just because you are loving someone, just because that person is loving you, it's actually a business deal. It's simply a business deal and self-interest, selfish and self-centered. Sometimes, okay, இவங்க நம்ம நல்லா பார்க்குறாங்க, அதனால அவங்களுக்கு நான் ஏதாச்சும் நல்லது செய்வோமே. That type of consciousness. Krishna is saying that is a business. Or because you love me, I love you back. That's a condition. And better is a second class of men who love in spite of the opposite party contradictories. Even without a tinge of loving affection, they are better than the merchandise. Since love can be seen when the father and mother love the children in spite of the children's neglect. This is example of parents will love the child even if the child loves them or not. They will simply love. That is very good type of love. And the third class of reciprocation nor neglects. Neither reciprocation, neither neglects. This is further divided into two classes. One is self-satisfied, one who does not require anyone's love. It's called Atmarama, which always absorbed in the thought of the Supreme. Means another type of person who don't reciprocate is Atmarama. You may serve them and they just don't reciprocate because they're so satisfied within thinking of Krishna that they do not care if anyone loves them or not. They doesn't really require any type of love because they are self-sufficient. They're always thinking of Krishna. And another person is a person who neglectful. So Krishna is telling that because the Lord is Atmarama, he is self-satisfied, therefore there is no need of him to reciprocate. So Krishna says that just as you are aggrieved by the words and acts, you must also know that sometimes I do not reciprocate my devotees dealing. நீங்களாம் கேட்பீங்க, do Krishna really hear us? Do Krishna really hearing what we are telling? This is what Krishna is telling here. Krishna is telling that sometimes he does not reciprocate the devotees dealing. Sometimes Krishna doesn't respond. It appears that my devotees are very much attached to me, but sometimes I did not reciprocate their feelings properly. Krishna we love him so much, but he said that he does not reciprocate. But why he do this? That is the main reason. We have to see the reason why Krishna is doing this is in order to increase your love for me more and more. Means to make the love of Krishna more and more in you. Therefore, what he does? He doesn't reciprocate. If I very easily approached by them, then they might think Krishna is so easily available. If someone is telling that, oh, if Krishna easily ஒரு விஷயம் சுலபமாக நம்மளுக்கு கிடச்சிச்சா அதோட வேல்யூ வந்து நம்மளுக்கு நம்மளுக்கு கிடச்சிடும், அது அங்கே தானே இருக்குது, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். பட் எப்போ அந்த விஷயம் நம்மளுக்கு கிடைக்காம இருந்துச்சு அப்போ தான் நம்ம அதை ரொம்ப அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வாட் கிருஷ்ணா இஸ் ஆல்சோ டூயிங். So sometimes I did not respond. If a person have no money after some time of accumulating some wealth and then lose it, he will think of the lost property 24 hours a day. Similarly, in order to increase the love of my devotees, sometimes I appear to be lost to them, and instead of forgetting me, they feel their loving sentiments for me have increased. So when suddenly we feel like Krishna is very far, what actually the good thing is our devotion for Krishna increase. So Krishna is telling, my dear friend, do not think for a moment that I have been dealing with you just like an ordinary devotee. I know what you are. You're forsaken all. And now Krishna is telling about the greatness of the Gopis, telling that you have forsaken all kind of society, religious obligation. You have given up all connection with your parents without caring for social convention and religious obligation. You have come to me and loved me, and I'm so much obligated to you that I cannot treat you as ordinary devotees. Do not think that I was away from you. I was near to you. I was simply seeing how much you were anxious for me in my absence. Krishna was actually there. But simply He was just seeing how much anxious. So please do not try to find fault in me, because you consider me so dear to you. Excuse me if I've done something wrong. Even Krishna is asking sorry. I cannot repay your continual love for me, even though the lifetime of the demigods in the heavenly planet. It is impossible to repay you or show gratitude for your love. Therefore, please be satisfied by your own pious activity. You have displayed exemplary attraction for me, overcoming the greatest difficulty arising from the family connection. Please be satisfied with your highly exemplary character, for it's not possible for me to repay the debt. It's so beautiful that Krishna is mentioning here that he cannot repay the love of the gopis. He cannot give what he can give to gopis. He can give beauty. They are the most beautiful, therefore they can attract Krishna. Krishna want to give fame. They are the most famous devotees. They are so famous that they are known as the best devotees of the Lord. What is Krishna? Krishna can give them moksha. They already got Krishna with them. Why they want mukti? They already get bhakti. In that way, the gopis have everything with them. So therefore, they are so perfect that the Lord cannot give them anything, that the Lord gave himself to him. That's why கோபியர்களுக்கு வந்து personal physical association கிடைச்சிச்சா கண்ணன் கிட்ட. Personal physical association, very great thing which they got, which no one else கிடைச்சதுக்கு. ஸோ இதே போல கண்ணன் வந்து கோபியர்கள்கிட்ட பேசிக்கிட்டு இருந்தாரா. So of course after that they all started to dance again, and they all dance. And Bhagavatam mentioned ஒரு பிரம்மர் ஒரு ராத்திரிக்கு நடனம் புரிந்தார்களா கண்ணனும் கோபிமார்களும். That's what mentioned in Bhagavatam. So it's very beautifully mentioned that let me see where to read. It's a very beautiful part here that the most of the gopis in the previous life, நீங்க நினைக்கலாம் யார் இந்த கோபிமார்கள். ஸோ இங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்க, இந்த முக்காவாசி கோபியர்கள் எல்லாரும் வேடத்தை படித்த expert in the studies of the Vedas. அப்பனா வேடாச்சாரியார்கள், they are the who studies the Vedas and the very expert. So கிருஷ்ணர் வந்து பூர்வ யுகத்தில் ராமச்சந்திர பகவானாக அவதரிக்கும் போது அவர் காட்டுல போனார் ராமச்சந்திர. So Lord Ram gave them the benediction, because the moment they saw Lord Ram, if you hear which forest this Rishigal met Lord Ram. I'm not sure if Vishagan is here. Okay, anyway. ஸோ லார்ட் ராம் வந்து அந்த ஃபாரஸ்ட்டில் வந்து, அதையோ நல்ல ஃபாரஸ்ட், அது பேர் நான் அந்த ஃபாரஸ்ட் பேரே மாறிட்டேன். யாராச்சும் ஞாபகம் இருக்கா எந்த ஃபாரஸ்ட்டில் வந்து ராமபிராணி வந்து மீட் பண்ணாங்க? விஷாகன், தண்டகரண்யா. தேங்க்யூ விஷாகன். எஸ். ஸோ ஆக்சுவலி என்ன நடந்துச்சா, தண்டகரண்யா ஃபாரஸ்ட்க்கு ராமச்சந்திர பகவான் அங்கே போகிற சமயத்தில் அங்கே இருக்க ரிஷிகள் வேதவாதிஸ், தே ஆர் வெரி எக்ஸ்பர்ட் இன் ஸ்டடிங் த வேதாஸ். So while they were studying these Vedas and they saw Lord Rama, they become very attached to Lord Rama and they wanted to have conjugal affair with him. அவரை வந்து அனைத்து லீலைக்கு புரியணும் ரொம்ப ஆசைப்பட்டாங்க. They desire the Lord, which is a very nice desire. We all must desire to have him. So when Krishna appeared as Lord Ramachandra, they wanted to enjoy with him. Lord Ramachandra gave them the benediction that their desire will be fulfilled when he would appear as Krishna. Therefore, the desire of Gopi to enjoy the appearance of Lord Krishna was long cherished. So they are approach of goddess Kartiyayini to have Krishna as their husband, and there are many other circumstances also in which testify the supreme authority of Krishna, show that he is not born to rules and regulations of material world. This is very, very important to tell, that Krishna is not born to any rules and regulation. In a special case, he acts as he likes to favor his devotees. This is only possible for Krishna because he is the supreme controller. Because people in general follow the instruction of Lord Krishna as given in the Bhagavad Gita and should not imagine imitating Lord Krishna in Rasa Leela. சில பேர்லாம் வந்து நினைப்பாங்க, ஓ கண்ணன் இப்படி பண்ணியிருக்காரு நம்மளும் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணலாம். No, that is wrong. We cannot do these things about Krishna. We can read, appreciate, and we can desire to be one of his associates. That one we can do. ஆனால் நம்ம இதெல்லாம் இந்த மாதம் கண்ணன் மாதிரி ஆகலாம், நானும் கிருஷ்ணா தானோ, வி கேனாட் டு தட். தட்ஸ் ராங். ஸோ கிருஷ்ணா கோவர்தனை மலையை தூக்கினார், கண்ணன் பூத்தனாவை வதம் பண்ணினார். கண்ணன் அதே போல நிறைய அசுரர்களை வதம் பண்ணினார். ஓகே, லெட் மீ ஆஸ்க் அ கொஸ்டின். ரொம்ப நாளாச்சு இந்த கேள்விகள் கேட்டு, மறுபடியும் கேட்போம். எத்தனை அசுரர்கள் கண்ணன் வதம் பண்ணார்னு நம்பர் சொல்லவானா, எந்தெந்த அசுரர்கள் கண்ணன் வதம் பண்ணாருன்னு அந்த பேர்கள் மட்டும் சொல்லுங்க. Okay, I told Putana. Putana was the first demon which was killed by Krishna when he was just merely few months old. He was just a small child. Putana was killed. Putana, okay, Roshanji, வேற கண்ணன் ரொம்ப பூத்தனாய் வதம் பண்ண பிறகு இரண்டாவது அசுரன் யார்? சூறாவளி காற்றிலே ஒருத்தன் வந்தான். பூத்தனா, பகாசுரன், பாகாசுரன், தேனுகாசுரன், ஷகடாசுரன், yes, ஷகடாசுரன், Trinavartha, Agasuran, Denukasuran, Pralambasura is killed by Balarama. So in this way, it's mentioned that Krishna's lifting the Govardhana hill, Lord lifted Govardhana hill, that wasn't an ordinary thing. Malaye Bhagavan தூக்கி விட்டார். Such a wonderful thing. So அதே போல பூத்தனா இந்த மாதிரி ரொம்ப எக்ஸ்ட்ராஆர்டினரி ஆக்டிவிட்டிலாம் பண்ணலாம். Similarly, இந்த ராச டான்ஸ் is also an uncommon activity which cannot be imitated by any ordinary man. An ordinary man engaged in an occupational duty like Arjuna should execute his duty for the satisfaction of Krishna that is within his power. Krishna was fighter, Arjuna was a fighter, sorry. When we read Bhagavad Gita, we know that Arjuna was a fighter. And Krishna wanted him fight for his satisfaction. Arjuna agreed. Although at first he was not willing to fight, the duties are required for ordinary men. They should not jump up and try to imitate Krishna and indulge in Raslila and thus bring about their ruin. பண்ண சொந்த அழிவுக்கு காரணமாயிருவீங்கள். இந்த மாதிரி தேவையில்லாம கண்ணனை போல வாழணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டாருக்கு. One should know that certainly that Krishna have no personal interest in whatever he did for the benediction of the Gopis, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Namam Karmani Limpanti. Krishna never enjoys or suffers the result of his activities. Therefore, it's not possible to him to act irreligiously. He is transcendental to all activity. பகவானோட எல்லாம் லீலைகளும் திவ்யமானது. ஏனால் பகவான் பரமபுருஷ ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணர். அவர் எந்த லீலையை புரிந்தாலும் அது ரொம்ப திவ்யமானது. சில பேர் கேள்விகள் கேட்கலாம், இந்த மாதிரி கண்ணன் த ஆத்மராமாக ஆகிவிட்டாரே. ஆத்மராமா என்பது செல்ஃப் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைட். அவர்கிட்ட எல்லாமே பூரணமாக இருக்கு, அவருக்கு எந்த ஆசைகளும் இருக்காது. பிகாஸ் இஸ் செல்ஃப் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைட், therefore he doesn't need anything externally. Some may ask, if Krishna is self-sufficient, why should he at all manifest the pastime with the Gopis which are disturbing to the so-called moralists of the world? The answer is that such activity is special mercy to the fallen conditioned soul. The Gopis are expansion of his eternal energy, and because Krishna wanted to exhibit this Leela, there also appeared as an ordinary human being. And Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj also explained that the pastime and activity of Krishna are medicine for the constitution soul. அப்பனா கண்ணனோட லீலைகளும், கண்ணனோட லீலை இந்த உலகத்தில் பந்தப்பட்ட ஆத்மாக்களுக்கு மருந்தாக இருக்கிற ஒரு விஷயமா அது என்னது? கண்ணனோட லீலைகள்னு சொல்றாங்க. If they simply hear about Krishna, they become relieved from the material diseases. They are attached to the material enjoyment, and by hearing the transcendental pastime of Krishna, they relieve from material contamination. Means யார் ஒருவன் அவனோட ஆத்மாவை தூயப்படுத்த போகிறார்களோ கண்ணனுடைய லீலைகளை தினதோறும் கேட்க வேண்டும். That's what Parikshit Maharaj is recommending. You should always listen to the pastimes of Krishna. So சுகதேவ கோஸ்வாமி பாகவதத்தை சொல்ற சமயத்துல இரண்டு வார்த்தைகளை ரொம்ப உபயோகப்படுத்தினார். ஒன்று பக்திம் அண்ட் பரம். Bhaktim Param means execution of devotional service above the neophyte stage. Those who are simply attached to temple worship but do not know the philosophy of bhakti are in neophyte stage. That sort of bhakti is not the perfectional stage. The perfectional stage of bhakti or transcendental service is completely free from the material contamination. The most dangerous aspect of contamination is lust of sex life. Bhaktim Param, devotional service so potent that one advances in this line, the more he loses his attraction for material life. One actually deriving benefit from hearing this Leela surely achieve the transcendental position. He surely loses all trace of lust in his heart. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Yaravara, is one of the acharyas. Is point out that according to Bhagavad Gita, a day of Brahma and night of Brahma are the period of solar years expanding to 4,300,000 years multiplied by 1,000. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the rasa dance was performed during the long period of Brahma's night, but the Gopis could not understand that in order to fulfill the desire, Krishna extended the night to cover such a great period of time. One may ask how is possible, and Vishwanath Chakravarti reminds that Krishna, although born by a small rope, could show his mother the universe within his mouth. How was this possible? The answer that he could do anything for the pleasure of his devotees. கிருஷ்ணரோட ரொம்ப விசேஷமே அவர் பக்தர்களுக்காக எது வேணுமாக செய்வாரா. Similarly, because the gopis wanted to enjoy Krishna, they were given the opportunity to associate with him for so long, for such a long period. This was done according to his promise. When Krishna stole the garments of the gopis while they was taking bath at Yamuna, Krishna promised to fulfill their desire in some future night. In one night, therefore, they enjoyed the company of Krishna as a beloved husband. But that night was not an ordinary night. It was a night of Brahma, lasted for millions and millions of years. Everything is possible for Krishna, for he is the supreme controller. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 32nd chapter of Krishna, the description of residence.